Hey, what's going on out there? I would like to welcome every single one of you to Water Your Soil. So before I get into this video, I would like to say, if you're new around here, I have two rules over at this channel. The first rule is for you to always use your own discretion when it comes to credit cards and credit scores. The second rule, that's for you to verify whatever you learn, whether it's here on this channel, another channel, or anywhere. That should be a rule of life. So getting into the video, this video is going to be about some devastating credit card news in my opinion, and it's not good for a specific generation. And I'm going to let you know which generation this is. But before I get into that, I would like to say credit cards are a luxury. And oftentimes we can get so wrapped up into this and so wrapped up into credit cards and be so passionate about it. But in reality, it's a luxury. It's the little things in life that really matter and brings things into perspective for myself and I'm sure a lot of you out there. And the reason why I'm mentioning this is because this credit card news article is about people who are going through a little bit. They're unfortunately experiencing some hard times when it comes to credit cards. So we're going to get into it. So the way how credit card news works around here is I'll read through the article or I'll read through the important excerpts of the article, but I'll always leave a link to the article in the description box. So we're going to get right into it. All right, let's go. So this article was posted on Investopedia.com. It says this generation has the most credit card debt at nearly $10,000 on average. How do you compare? And this was done by Aaron McDade, and it was published October 6, 2025. So as you can see, we're a couple of weeks behind on this one, but it's still news and it's something that I didn't cover. So Investopedia does something cool. They post key takeaways. The key takeaway says, average credit card debt is highest among Generation X, according to the latest data from Credit Bureau Experian. Gen X is currently part of the so-called sandwich generation, as many are helping financially support both aging parents and children growing into adulthood. Credit card debt rolls across every age group, and other recent surveys revealed that Americans are increasingly worried about their own levels of debt. It says, credit card debt is an increasing concern for millions of Americans, but which age group has the most credit card debt, and are you a part of it? According to data released last month by Credit Bureau Experian, Generation X, widely referred to as Gen X, has the highest average credit card debt at $9,600, nearly $3,000 higher than the next closest groups. Millennials at $6,961 and baby boomers at $6,795. Generation Z, often called Gen Z, and the silent generation round out the list with the lowest amount of debt, each just under $3,500 on average. Then it has a chart. It says average credit card debt by generation. And you can see the different generations and the amount of debt that they have on the chart. And you'll see that Generation X does have the largest amount of credit card debt. And it's not looking good right now for them. But as you're going to see when we go further with the article, there are reasons for this. So let's get right into it. It says why Gen X leads the way. Gen X is traditionally defined as those born between 1965 through 1980. Meaning they are now 45 to 60 years old. Data from earlier this year shows that Gen X accounts for just over a quarter of the country's wealth, compared to 51% among baby boomers, as younger generations continue to wait for the quote-unquote great wealth transfer that will take place as the boomers and the silent generation pass down their assets. It says why this matters. Credit card debt is high interest debt, which means the amount one owes can get out of hand quickly as interest compounds. It gets harder to catch up with payments of multiple credit cards with high balances. Lastly, missed payments can also affect the borrower's credit score, making it harder to secure future loans. It says, but Gen X is currently in a financial predicament as part of the quote-unquote sandwich generation, along with some older millennials. Many of them are now at an age where they are providing financial assistance to both their aging parents and their own children, who may not have achieved full financial independence despite having reached adulthood. As experience data shows, those extra expenses are likely causing some Gen Xers to stretch their budgets. A lot of that spending is done by credit card, One repercussion of those widening financial obligations, they complicate the retirement picture for Gen X adults. Some surveys revealed that a quarter of Americans in that age group have pulled back on savings for retirement because of their needs. It says credit card debt is getting bigger and making Americans more stressed. The U.S. average credit card debt as of June 2025 was $6,735 per Experian. That was up a little more than half of 1% from the same time a year ago, when the average was $6,699. The credit bureau attributed part of that rise to the average credit card interest rate, which jumped in recent years and may remain elevated even as the Federal Reserve starts to cut its own interest rates. That means existing credit card balances are hard to pay down once they start to grow, and the rising cost of living is forcing more Americans to put a wider range of expenses on credit cards. It says growing credit card debt is also taking a toll on millions of Americans. In a pair of recent surveys, about a quarter of Americans said they regret overspending on credit cards, and more than 40% said their current level of credit card debt worries them. Experts recommend using credit cards only for purchases that you know you can pay off, and paying off the balance as often as possible. If you find yourself in too much credit card debt, two popular remedies are the snowball strategy and the avalanche solution. The snowball gambit involves paying off the smallest debt first because that's, in theory, at least the easiest. Then you tackle successively larger balances. The avalanche method focuses on minimizing interest accrual by paying off the card balance with the highest interest rate. Bottom line, recent data from Credit Bureau Experian reveals that Generation X has the highest average credit card debt among age groups of U.S. adults. Many in that group are burdened by the responsibility of helping both parents and growing children with their finances, with a number of Gen Xers saying they are saving for retirement at a slower pace. Credit card debt rolls across generations in the Experian data, and other recent surveys have shown that Americans are increasingly worried about their credit card debt. So there you have it, Gen X. They're going through it right now because, as the article states, not only do they have children that they are taking care of, they also have aging parents that they're also having to take care of now. So they're getting hit by both. They call it the sandwich generation, where they have to take care of their parents and take care of their children as well. And it's unfortunate. And you look at where things are with the economy right now, we are running into a big problem. But Gen X, on average, they're right there at that $10,000 credit card debt number, and that's unfortunate. And they're not just going through it. This is averages, of course, and unfortunately, when it comes to averages, the higher number brings up the average. So I would like to see the median number in regard to credit card debt in this country. But Generation Z and the silent generation, they have the least amount of credit card debt, which is understandable. But as you can see, Generation X, they're being hit the hardest. And they also mention older millennials in there as well. And I just want you all to know, we talk about credit card debt often on this channel. And we also talk about credit cards and the benefits that come along with them. You know, these credit cards, they're a luxury, meaning, yeah, they're cool to use and they could get you things and you could purchase things with them. But in the grand scheme of all of this, they're a luxury. That's what they are. They're not a necessity. And I really wish a lot of people would realize that these credit cards are not a necessity, because so many people treat credit cards like they are a necessity. And that's unfortunate, because that ends up leading to credit card debt. As you see from the article, they stated that a lot of Generation Xers, they reach for their credit cards to help with taking care of their parents and taking care of their children. And unfortunately, when it comes to retirement, they're suffering when it comes to that as well. But they're not the only generation who is going through things when it comes to credit card debt. You saw the millennials, you saw the baby boomers, and I'm a millennial myself. And to my fellow millennials, I want you all to start getting more serious about credit card debt and paying off your credit card debt and attacking your credit card debt, because it's not working in our favor and it's not set up to work in our favor. There's a reason why on these banks' website, whether it's American Express, Chase, Discover, Capital One, you name it, is not letting us know what our credit card utilization is right next to our balance. And you're not going to find that. Why you're not going to find that? Because they're fine with us spending money and carrying balances because it puts more money into their pockets. So you all have to be conscious of that when you are using these credit cards. Yeah, they're cool because you can rack up points and get cash back and sky miles and things like that. But when it comes down to it, you have to ask yourself, is it really worth putting yourself in long-term debt? And for me, my answer is no, it's not worth it. I don't know what it is for you all, but for me, it's not worth it at all. But I just wanted to share this article with you all to let you know where everyone stands. And I feel for the Generation Xers. I'm not Generation X, but I do feel for the Generation Xers who are going through it when it comes to credit card debt. But before you go, I want you all to participate in my latest poll. The way you do so is clicking on the profile picture that you see right now on this Water Your Soil YouTube channel. It's going to take you to the homepage of this channel. Once you're on the homepage, you're going to see a section that says post. Click on that post section and it will show you my latest poll as well as my previous polls. Be sure to participate in both. But anyway, if you're new here and you're feeling the vibe, this is Water Your Soil. Be sure to hit the subscribe button, turn on all notifications. That way you don't miss a future video because I post often. That's clicking on the bell that you see and selecting all. Also, this goes to every single one of you, my subscribers included. Be sure to hit the like button. It literally takes 1 second. It lets the algorithm know you support this video and this channel. And yes, if you are watching at home, you can use your remote control and hit the like button as well. I appreciate every single one of you for stopping by, for showing love, for participating in my poll, for hitting the like button, for commenting, all of that. This is Water Your Soil, and I'm out. Hey, what's going on? This is Nell from Water Your Soil. So as someone who went from a 549 credit score all the way up to the 800s, I decided to share the same information that helped me go from poor credit to excellent credit. This book is titled Strategies to Master Credit. I put everything in this book, everything that helped me go from poor credit to excellent credit. All of the information is in this book. So I want you all to purchase this book. A lot of you have already purchased it, but it's available currently right now on Amazon.com and also MasterCreditBook.com. It's titled Strategies to Master Credit. You want this book. It has all the information needed in order for you to go from poor credit to excellent credit or just simply maintain your good or excellent credit score. So get the book ASAP. And if you want something more in depth, you could take the course over at www.wateryoursoil.com. It's more in depth. There are actually chapters in this course and it walks you through basically how FICO credit scores come about and how they're determined. And really, once you learn how FICO scores come about and the concept of credit scores, then you're pretty much on your way to either going from poor credit to good credit or just maintaining a good or excellent credit score. So if you want something more in depth, I have the course over at www.wateryoursoil.com. All right.